category, Adegoke Onaopemipo delivered a remarkable solo campaign at the World Games 2025 in Chengdu, China, ranked 137th in the world. The 25-year-old entered the men's singles without a coach or teammates, carrying the nation's hopes entirely on his own. Now, despite an opening round exit to Hong Kong, China's Lao Ti's Quan, he bounced back strongly in the plate competition, winning 3 matches to reach the final and finishing 18th overall. His disciplined preparation involved creating multiple strategies to adapt mid-match, a skill developed through years of self-reliance. Now Lagos-born and now based in New York, that's United States of America, Adegoke's journey began with encouragement from his brother and from the national junior levels to becoming Nigeria's champion at 19. He has overcome funding challenges in a sport that depends largely on private sponsorships. With squash making his Olympic debut at Los Angeles 2028, his sights are firmly set on history. Now, joining us in the game this afternoon is Nigeria's #1 squash men's player, Onaopemipo Adegoke. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining.
Good evening to you from here. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. I mean, it's been a fairy tale run for you. Coming from from where you started from now to the United States, and just about some days ago, you competed as the only Nigerian at the World 2025 Games. Can you describe the experience of representing Nigeria alone at a major event?
It's a tough one for me. I would say it's something I'm kind of used to, because playing professional and then playing representing yourself in the professional level, you're definitely representing your country also, because you go alone to play tournament. So coming here alone to play squash, not for me to find out and then say I was the only one representing Nigeria in the World Games. It is an honor for me to be here, and then it means a lot being also the flag bearer of my own very own country.
All right, Adegoke, I mean, you're an inspiration to many. I remember when you came to our studios in Lagos, Nigeria in 2023. At that time, you were still based in Nigeria, trying to hustle, combining sports and, whatever you were doing. How's the transition been from Nigeria to the United States of America and then going to a competition without a coach? What was the biggest challenge for you?
For me, moving from Nigeria to the United States played a very big role in my life, and also in my sports career. All thanks to the Nigerian squash president, person of Mr. Boyo Oyerinde, and then Babatunde Adebayo, we used to be the national #1 also before he moved down into the United States. Yeah, and then it has always been like a good thing for me. Being able to surround myself with good players, top players, work with experienced coaches, and then get to share ideas, improve more. And trust me, this move is just almost 2 years now, but it's been in my whole life, it's been a big thing for me. It changed the way I think. It changed my professionalism in my career so far, and then which is what shaped me to be able to compete in the World Games.
All right, Onaopemipo, as your name connotes, there are many different reasons for you to be grateful, and I must say that Nigeria must be grateful to have such a great squash athlete as yourself. But let's talk about the game itself, and I think I just want to know, how do your multiple game plans work for you in a squash match? Because obviously you're going to have different strategy going into different games against different opponents. So how are you able to infuse your different game plans in a squash game?
It's tough. It has to do with a really strong mental toughness, which it's been a very good thing for me. Emulating this from some of the top players, and then also from my very own brother, because for me, each game and then each match, each player, there's a certain way you should play them. And then also having different strategy is also one of the key things in squash because thinking about a game plan A and then finding out your opponent is counter attacking that game plan, you have to go back into the drawing board and then reroute your game plan and then try to use a game plan B. And if that doesn't work, you work with C. One of them will usually work, and then yeah. So my game plan is like always like 4 to 5 before I step on court, and then also I just watch some previous matches of my opponent, and then I make sure I just notice some weakness, and then also I make my own weakness my strength, not to be so obvious for my opponent, so it doesn't like counter attack my weak spot.
All right. I mean, you've talked about how your strategy is going into a game and how you overcome your opponent. You competed at the tournament without a coach. What are your plans going forward? I mean, in as much as some things are working at the moment, some would say you still need a coach by your side. What are the plans to get a personal coach that will also help you in conditioning? And how much of influence? You mentioned your brother. How much of influence has he been towards you going into squash as a sport?
First of all, I'll talk about my brother. I'm going to say is the backbone of my career and then of my upliftment in sports so far. Without him, I don't think I'll be right here right now because growing up, I never liked sports. I used to think sports was just a very boring game fighting against the wall. But it made me realize it's really more than that. It's more about strategy and then finding a way to move your opponents around. Because after some time, like growing up, we were out of facility at the Europa Sports Center in Lagos. My brother and I had to improvise and then use the backyard of our house to play squash and then to work on our backstroke on our backhand for sure. So that's my brother has done a very good thing for me. And then also talking about coaches, I have several coaches in the United States right now. I personally have Adegoke, which is the Nigerian top player. I have Luke. I have Paul from England. I have Luke from England, who are like top coaches. I've also worked with Rod Martin in one or two sessions, and then also like playing with those people has done a very good thing for me. But having a coach on my side means a lot in tournaments because having someone outside watching you play, you cannot say it all. Your coach is gonna like figure out and then can see clearly what your opponent's weak spot is, and then it can then identify it to you during the break. But without a coach, you're just going in there with your own plan and then trying to like multitask and then find out another route to play and then to win. But having a coach on your side, it's really helpful. It's a good thing because you get to be told about, oh, okay, your opponent is weak on this side, is saying too far behind. But you on court, you can see that because you just want to keep on the rally, you just want to win, you just want to go all out for the point, and each point matters for sure. So a coach having to be by your side is a very good thing, and then I'm looking forward to having a personal coach who is gonna go around with me, travel with me, and then instruct me. And then all thanks to my club in New York also, and then to the director of the club, Suprit Singh, is an Indian. He's been helping me with strengthening and conditioning, and then mobility, with all of that has to come in. Without those, skills can't do it alone. So I'm gonna say thank you to them so far.
Okay. Onaopemipo, you referenced, the squash president earlier when you were speaking, and I think I just want to know, in your opinion, where do you see squash in Nigeria growing to in the near future?
Um, it's for sure. Right now, squash has gotten to a very good stage, and then I believe we can do better. In the future, for sure it all lies in the hand of the coming president of the Nigerian Sports Federation, um, and then also the committee, the boards that work with him. It all depends on them in sense of like growing the sport in one accord, and then not having different aim, or it's much better to have like one set goal and then work together in achieving that set goal. Because for sure we have talented and skillful players, which I would like to see Nigerian junior players participate in a world junior event. And then I believe in the coming future we can do that, and then we can always dominate.
All right, before we let you go, we must talk about this. I mean, it's important we do this. When you talk about the Olympics, squash before now used to be Commonwealth and other, events, but right now it's set to make its debut in 2028, if I'm not mistaken. What's your plan towards Los Angeles 2028? Do you think it's possible? What are the steps you hope to take towards achieving a qualification and, of course, making your debut at the Los Angeles Olympics in 2028?
After the news of early 28 came out, it became a thing of joy for us all in the squash zone, in the squash arena, and then because it's the first thing, and then being in the Olympics means a lot for us. It's a dream come true. For me, hearing that news has been a very good thing for me. It's part of what is keeping me still really really going, because representing my country in a big stage like that. It's a very good thing, and then also that it's also shaped me to be more professional, to be more into my diet, and then also more into like my set goals. Because for me, I have a goal. I've set a goal for myself, and then I'm gradually, step by step, getting there. Which also, by achieving my goals, it's also a step closer to representing Nigeria in the Olympics. But for now, we don't know how the Olympics committee is gonna break it down. Hopefully, because right now we only have because of 16, which only 16 players are gonna participate in the Olympics. But we don't know how it's gonna be shared among the continent, and then how they're gonna like make the features. But all fingers crossed, and I'm looking forward to representing Nigeria in the Olympics.